been like 13 years that I laid in a labor and delivery prep room, and I was given the wrong medication. I complained to my husband while he was sitting there, and you know, he was telling me, just be quiet because women, you guys just murmur too much. Maybe it's labor pain. Maybe it's what you're feeling has to be related, labor related, and just hush, hush, hush. Take it easy. You guys, sometimes women murmur too much, so on and so forth. And lo and behold, a nurse came in the room in the same time and asked me if a young nurse was in here, like in the room a few minutes ago. I told her yes. She said to me, did she give you any medicine? I said yes. She said, oh my God, that medication was not yours. You don't even supposed to be getting any medication because in the next 20 minutes you are going into the operating room because the baby was to be delivered via cesarean. And yeah, she literally told me that that medicine had nothing to do with me. And I'm not going to get into details. A lot of stuff transpired after her administering that wrong medication. Up until today's day, I am still living with the consequences. Anyway, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to our Hello uh, Fridays. Actually, it's not Hello Fridays. It's Friday Lives. I haven't done this in such a long time. Now I'm forgetting what the names are. And I'm still living with the consequences. And my husband really was having no part of it. Now, for those of you who are returning, or those of you who have been around, you would have heard me probably mention this before. Yes, it happened. I'm still here living with the consequences. Because there is this thing about men where when it comes to pain, as long as it's not them, when it comes to pain, dealing with hearing women cry, dealing with, listen, men are built differently. We're all not created the same. We're not equal. And there is this thing um that I somehow realize, like, both parties are expecting each other to tough it out. Like, for instance, you would look at your man, and if you hear him come home and whine about his day at work, deep down inside, you might not even say it to him, but deep down inside, you're saying, huh? So seriously, you mean to tell me, say, you as a man come home whining about work when you're supposed to be working, and vice versa? Don't think that, like I said, the scenario I use with like me, um getting into it just minutes before delivery with my husband because of complaining that my feet were getting numb. I was having shortness of breath and wrong medication that actually caused a whole lot of other side effects up until this blessed day in my life. um like I'm saying, in the same way he was thinking, well, she can bear little delivery pain, like, in the moments we're expecting, like us as human beings, like male female, we're expecting this strength, this toughness from each other. Sometimes it come out, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it come out the wrong way even, and it creates a lot of friction. Now, hello guys. Again, I said welcome back to the podcast. If I didn't say it before, welcome back to the podcast. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Firstly, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Just know that you're in a safe place. All right. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy time to really be under the sound of my voice because I know that that happens a lot. Some people just turn on them TV and turn on them phone and walk around the house and do what I'm doing instead of sitting down physically looking or watching. They would listen because I do that a lot just to support other people and the ads them run, blah blah blah. You know how the thing go. Anyway, so we saw Rocio's video yesterday, and in Rocio's video, there was this part where she was speaking about her partner um leaving her alone to give birth, or she having to send him away, or he was saying, "Don't complain, it's too much. No, it's too much. Let's just go to sleep." You remember, like she was actually giving, the story of how the birth went down, and I remember her saying she didn't say it yesterday, but I remember that part when she was saying at one point in time, Mara was saying, "Oh guys, just." I mean, no, oh guys, oh please, just let's go and sleep. Let's go and sleep. Listen to me, Rosio. Honestly, I get it. And many of these women here in the in like our subscribers, our comment section. You don't have to be a subscriber. People watch and they don't subscribe. Like many of them would have gone through similar same instances. Like I use my little scenario. It's not the same thing, but it's just that my husband was telling me I'm whining too much, or I can remember he was at one point he was telling me, lad, when I was okay, so they also induced labor because for me it was a tricky situation. Me, I was okay and I was at work and I started feeling my face twisting. I started feeling a stiffness in my neck and my face was going on one side. And I went to clinic because I had an appointment that day for maternity clinic, and I went and they told me that no, you just call your husband because we have to take this baby. You're getting a stroke, so on and so forth. You understand? So at one point in time now in the delivery room, not the delivery room, the delivery prep room, they were telling me they will induce labor. They came and they did. They came and they did. That was the earlier stages before the woman gave me the wrong a thing, the medicine that was not mine. They induced labor. And at one point in time, I was even rubbing my foot and moaning and going. My husband get mad. He was saying, "Listen, I'm tired. I can't take this noise in my head. Let me go outside. Lord, you're too noisy. You're too noisy." And he just was not having anything to do with that. He was just in his own world. The whole point of the issue is that men can, and then before we think about that, can you imagine this? My husband, who was an EMT at one point in time in his life, and would have dealt with so many issues. Let me give you a joke. One of the time he was telling me that the first time he saw, there was this issue where a lady had she was washing, and apparently there was some live wire somewhere behind the washing machine, and I don't want to say too much things here on the podcast. When they were called, when the EMTs were called, somebody saw her from over next yard on the floor and thought that maybe it was some issue she was having, but she was already gone to her maker. They didn't know. But when she fell, apparently, when the wire, when the current lick her, when she was hit by the power from the live wire, the washing machine, guess when she fell, she hit her face. And when they went there, figure out what was wrong, and they turned her over, and he saw the situation. I was told that he fainted. He fainted. You understand? So, like I said, men and women are built differently. Even human being generally, we just make different. Because I couldn't, some people would have to give, like, people who are diabetic, people who are insulin, ding, 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 ding on a daily basis. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. While some people get so used to it, they want to do it for themselves and others and everybody around them. You understand what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to remain advertiser friendly here on the platform. So get with the program. We are not built the same. So I was listening to Rocio and giving her scenario and saying that she has not forgiven and she has not gone past that. Listen to me. It was not so long ago I was even telling my husband the same. He said, "You're worthless." Can you imagine? I was laughing over it in a sense. I've gotten to the place now where I don't feel that loneliness. Because the picnic a big picnic now. And that part of me, it's already like numb in a sense. That part, that part in your belly button where you feel the funniness, that gone. The child is a big pick, gonna be 13 in November. But I still feel this anguish and feel like I was really abandoned during my most vulnerable, during the time when me feel licky my broken hand, when me the ball for pain because he was the one who put me in this position. I go through that. So I was listening to Rocio and I was reading some of the comments and people were going after her in a kind of way because them feel like she's supposed to be toughing, what's the word, brother? What's the word? Them believe like she's supposed to tough it out and show it behind and don't speak about her experiences. Yo, in life, I want to say this. Regardless, sometimes I will listen to some people talking and get pissed about certain things because they seem repetitive. We have to remember that this is how people, heal. Speaking is therapy sometimes. Some people probably, I don't know. Speaking is therapy. It's therapeutic. Talking over the issues, talking over the way how you would have want to do it, have it done the next time. Um, Another thing I said before, and I'm gonna say it again. It's not all of us that are made, to be tough. It's not all of us can handle certain things. We've seen enough to know now that Rocio is somebody who want her man up under her. Marwa is from a different culture. Marwa was just out there being a showmanship. Do, what am I saying? Marwa was there giving a showmanship, being a show boy, loving, kissing, dang, 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 dang. But when it got to settling down and being serious about life, he pulled back. So the person that Rosie fell in love with on social media completely was a different person when she got on the ground. Come down to the nitty gritty. Don't blame him. Don't blame him. It's a culture. It's culture. It's a cultural differences. So she's holding on and trying to heal. So she will go back to the past from time to time. Listening to her sometimes can be a pain to the, I want to say, the people them and the ears that really does not have patience. Listening, the impatient ears will not want to hear it. Sometimes we all get impatient because when people being repetitive, why you think that people who have million subscribers will have a little bit of views sometimes, while one other time when they do other things, the views them get a lot. It's because sometimes when they appear to be repetitive, people get weary and they get tired. It's all in our nature to be impatient. You understand? And that's why I say, don't look for perfection. Don't create this kind of bubble in your head like and even with this scenario with me and my husband and even Rocio speaking about the situation with Marwa. She was just being human. She's holding on to that because that is her showing her imperfections. That is her showing her not being patient enough to understand that, yo, our understanding enough. I don't know if it's patience or, yeah, patience could fit. The word patient, impatience could fit there because if she was patient enough, you would love enough to understand that, um, bro, this is a man, this is not a man thing. Man, especially African man, hey, coming from a background where man dugu dugu in the night and make baby, and then in the morning them gone to the shamba. You understand? The mind sharp. The same woman with them dugu dugu within the night and make the baby. Woman have to go toe to toe with them in the shamba in the day and still come back home. They have a baby and them back, working with them toe to toe in the night. And working the toe to toe with them in the day and in the night again, them want to go same way and they want them food, them want them clothes wash, and them still want them attention. So all of that even go back to what I was trying to say earlier about um our expectations as human beings of each other sometimes is too much. And I'll tell you something. I'm learning a lot. Um, Sometimes, like for me, I don't have a friend circle, baga out there. I don't go to people's homes. I don't just randomly just be yapping in people's ears on the phone unless we have something to discuss and we discuss. And once it's done, for weeks, for months, you don't hear from me again. That's just me. I was brought up that way. But saying all of that to say, being out here on these streets, it's teaching me a lot. Um, Actually, like sometimes when you look upon people's behavior, the patterns, it helps you also to recognize that you too, if you're honest enough, if you're an honest person and you do soul searching and you look at your reflection and look at other people's behavior will show up to you as shit. You know, I actually do that too. This actually happened to me. How can I fix this? How can I not look like the other person's, especially if it's like a not so good behavior? Hey, I'm trying to come down and speak as clear as possible because you have all caliber of people listening. So yeah, you being out here, it will teach you, it will make you, it will break you, it opens your eyes. You understand me? So watching Rosio yesterday and hearing her, moan over the past, you know, to me, that is her therapy. That is her probably trying to grow along with the pains or let the pains grow with her. I don't know. I don't know. I said grow along with the pains. If you know, you know. I don't want to get into too much details. You know what I mean when we say grow along with the pains. You take those wounds and you put them alongside you and you make sure that you don't make the same mistake again. Or some people never let go. They make it makes them bitter and forever be clinging to that dark moment, one instance, and they will never move and it will never help. Listen to me. I've seen so many things like in my little short lifespan that God give me. Yeah, I've seen so many things. Sometimes I'll sit down and say, like, is it sin that makes human this complex, or is just the brain that is this complex, or because humans have to coexist with others and they don't have the patience or the brain span to learn how to peacefully or just generally to coexist without animosity, without statics, without stigma. It becomes painful sometimes, honestly, I'm telling you the truth. It becomes painful to really watch like some people not able to manage their pains, to heal, to let go, and they continually live in the past and let the past haunt them, and there's no growth because they're stagnant, they're holding on, and they're suffocating them own selves by just simply holding on and not learning to use the past as stepping stones or to use it as therapy then so they can heal from the past. It's really sad sometimes. It makes me very sad as a human to see, how sometimes life, like humans are not built with that tortoise shell, to tell the brain to tell the brain, look, stay in this shell and be as tough as possible. It hurts sometimes. I'm not using a lot of correct words, but at this point, it's just how I feel, is how I'm going to speak. Yeah. And I know you understand. You get what I'm saying. I'm not going to be reading comments. I want to just get this off my stomach and just exit. Big up on yourself as in come in any which way. No, I'm hoping that, you know, um, Rocio can, somehow don't let this one moment, you know, as me say, I hope she's not one of those, people who actually hold on to that one particular dark moment that which should have been the most beautiful moment. I hope she doesn't let that one moment, you know, tarnish her forever and her adding things upon listen, this thing called brain, a lot of us like really have some glitches here and there that really let us actually cannibalize ourselves, stagnate our future, our growth. Like I say, it's really sad sometimes to stand up and watch people, you know, not able to let go on them and like self-destructive part and and knowing that it doesn't really have anything to do with the person itself, the soul. It is just that brain that has that little glitch, that malfunction, that little nutrient that it lacked, that little gene, that little cell that it probably have a little defect, and it allowed you to and the sad part, let me tell you the honest truth, the sad part about the whole thing, when you see sometimes that people are having like difficulties, when you see people in them shortcomings, and not a doctor never come with a paper and say a doctor pronounce them this way and that way. People, society can be very hostile, very, very hostile. Like, I went on, you know, and I read some comments, and from the time when Rocio left, even the village, the way how these people came out to lambaste her up until this point when she go back now and be saying how she felt, or and still is feeling about certain issues, certain things that transpired, not issues, certain things that transpired. It's as if society is expecting that you should not say anything. You should not take a page from your past and use it as an example. You should not go back into your past. For instance, I came across a video this morning where one reactor was saying the Mwango it was just there yapping about her past, her sad story, da 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 da. You remember I said that sometimes people tend to use the past to heal. They'll use it as therapy. They'll use the past as examples of what not to do again in life. Or they will use the past to remind them of their beginnings, where they came from. And I was listening. I actually felt so good watching Dimongo yesterday, learning to use lemons to make lemonade. Saying meaning my reason for saying this is that she is now waiting on her documents, and instead of sitting around and not, because let me tell you something, you think YouTube is easy, you believe it is an easy thing to come on camera, sit down here, so like how I'm sitting now. It takes a lot of mental effort. You have to dig deep. What the hell am I going to be talking about this morning or doing today without looking repetitive or bringing boredom to the masses? You hear that young lady sat there yesterday and be talking about her past. It was therapeutic. A lot of us who followed them from those 6 years ago videos, those 5 years, forget about 3 years, those 5 years, 6 years ago videos, those 8 years, those 10 years ago videos. Not Dimongo. Dimongo roughly about 6 years on YouTube right now, 6 or 7 years on YouTube right now. She said five, but it's about 6 or 7. And don't even think about Marwa. How long he's been doing this. It is not easy. I was watching him knowing that he wants to travel, but yet he had already committed himself to the horses coming in, preparing for the ones that are already there, and yet he wants to travel. But he still, in all of this, he would still have to come to you, the eager fans and foes, waiting eagerly to see what next Mara has to say. And he will walk around the village. He will get up with the camera in his hand and walk for hours to put this piece, put that piece, talk about that piece, that piece, this piece, and join them together at the end of the day to bring you content. You think it's easy? Many days, because of my mental capacity, I don't even look at this like camera, look at this laptop, look at this microphone. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear. I don't want to even talk about nobody else's problem because I have it damn well and enough. Lucky for them, they don't really stress about other people's issue, especially the Mongol. Mara will get himself into problem from time to time. Mara will get himself involved into issues when I concern him from time to time, drama. But Dee will just mind her own damn business. And that's what I like about this girl. She is focused. She is dedicated. She makes sure that the sky remains the limit. Whether she's going to sit and talk about her past, it is her past, nobody else's. So, watching her yesterday, it brought me so much joy to know that it's not that she's sitting and talking about the past because it is hurting her and she can't move on. She's speaking about the past because she was using it as a guide for her future. You know how proud I felt yesterday listening to that young lady giving, that lecture for the half an hour, just talking freely without any what you call it, any monologue, like some people who will come sit down with lengthy monologues, scratching on paper because they don't want to forget anything. It was her story, and she actually executed that story very well. She narrated that story very well because it was hers. And it's not about the pain, it's not about holding on to the stories. It is about her using that story as a guide. And we will hear it a million times more. And this is my message for the reactor who actually was taking offense that Dee is using the story of her past as a gateway for pity and to activate donation. It is such a low, stupid, nonsensical thinking. What are you out here on the streets of Waitita doing? Living off of their stories. Imagine, they're not even paying you any mind, but you're focusing on their stories in order to make a penny to survive or to add to whatever your a side hustle then. But you find the time to don't play somebody else's past, to speak down on their past because they're using it as a guide to their future. The humble beginnings as a guide to their future. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see a damn thing wrong with that. So fire for you. Fire for all of y'all who tried as usual to twist the narrative and to laugh, to mock. It's nonsensical. I go back again, like me dancing all over the place today. But it's just how I want to talk. As I say, how I'm speaking today is just how I feel. Dancing all over the place just because I can. Go back to what I was saying about Rocio. I'm just hoping that her past experience would not be her reason to not build something beautiful out of her future, the few years that God gave us. And I see that she's doing okay for herself. I know everybody make the same way. And a lot of us need to know that. And I'm thinking that the time a lot of us is gonna take to run go over there and give negative comments. We should always think that, you know, it's not everybody's brain composition is the same way. It's not written out the same way. It was never made the same way. It's not built up of the same composites. Am I using the right words? Like this morning, I don't even know what I'm saying. You understand? I know all of we brain have everything in it. Some set that way there, some set the other way, some set upside down, some set round and round. So we receive information, we execute our intake, and our intake and what? Our outlets are different. Excuse me. How I feel is how I'm speaking, like I said. Our intake and our outlets are not all wired up the same way. Anyway, let me just bunks because I have some nice callaloo or spinach, or one call it. Callaloo, some nice potato and a boiled egg, and I am going to have that right now. Blessings to you. You, and you. Enjoy what's left of the Friday. And I'll tell you something, if you don't hear me say nothing about no Valentine's, is because I don't like the pagan business. A lot of these things that we jump up and run to worship and run to celebrate, we wouldn't even want to know the beginnings of these things. Yes, it's good to love, but what was the first commandment in the Bible? Anyway, I want love me say. Big up on yourself, my people, and let us continue to encourage these people when we see them doing good for themselves, when we see them also struggling. Don't push them down. Don't beat them down. A lot of us, our struggles come differently. A lot of us, our struggles, it look different. It look like normalcy, but it's not. And I keep saying it because it is around me. I myself will have struggled from time to time. When you don't see me, me in a corner. If you look at anything that I do, it will even show you that I do videos twice weekly. When everybody is doing videos every day, 2, 3, and 4 times a day, I cannot because I will have my own struggles. So that's how I deal with mine. I'm gonna jump out here and push down nobody. All I ask for most times on the streets of YT when you don't hear me, if I'm not really laughing over something, when you don't hear me, I say let them be. They are one. Let them go fix it or stop lying and behave yourself. Other than that, good. Other than that, I'm good. Anyway, as I say, one love, peace and blessings.